There has been a spike in COVID cases among children, and more kids are ending up in the hospital.
So what's behind the surge, and who is at greatest risk? CBS 13 investigative reporter Julie Watts is getting answers.
As kids head back to school, headlines like these can be scary. Children hospitalized with COVID-19 hits record number, highest levels yet. Doctors fear it will get worse.
Is there any indication that Delta is more dangerous for kids?
It's hard to say. Right now, we think it's just that there are more cases overall, but this is going to be an important thing that we continue to look at.
Dr. Well, chief of pediatric infectious disease at UCSF, says right now, most believe it's simply a numbers game. As more kids are exposed to a more contagious variant, infections are rising, along with hospitalizations. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, kids account for about 14 in every 100 COVID cases since the start of the pandemic. As cases in kids are now on the rise, tracking with adults, more cases mean more hospitalizations. Nationwide, kids account for between 1 and 3.5% of people hospitalized with COVID. Right now, there's little data on Delta's specific risk to kids. It doesn't yet appear to cause more serious infection in most, but can be more serious for some.
In fact, you have several kids on ventilators right now. How many of those kids have underlying conditions?
Most of the children that we're seeing have other conditions.
Locally, Ruel says most of the kids on ventilators are unvaccinated teenagers. And while underlying conditions can range from diabetes to asthma,
the most common complication we're seeing is simply having obesity. And some of them are kids that seem perfectly healthy, but for being very overweight and that are now very, very ill from COVID.
A trend hospitals are reporting nationwide.